So there's a story about a shoe salesman in Los Angeles in the 1950s. I can't remember his name, but he was a very successful entrepreneur who owned a whole bunch of women's shoe stores.
Yeah.
And a journalist asked him, "What's your secret?" And he said, 2, not 3. And they're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, if a woman comes into my store, I'll bring her a pair of shoes. She'll try them on. And she'll say, "Could I see that pair, please?" And I'll bring her a second pair of shoes. And she said, "Could I also see that pair, please?" And he'll say, "Which one would you like me to take away?"
Oh.
Because what he found is when they had a choice of 3, they bought none. And when they had a choice of 2, they bought 1.
Ah, I love that.
Right? 2, not 3. And too much choice is overwhelming.
Oh,
but the
man,
constraint...
I need to apply that to my life. You see, that's brilliant. I love it when people find the nexus of how you're supposed to do it. Because I understood it as a concept, but it's a nice way to think about it for anything, really.
Yeah. And so what I've started doing in my life is I've added constraint, right? And I didn't even realize it until we're talking right now, which is like I've got all these options on the table. Pick. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah,
right?
no, I know what you mean.
And what I'll start doing is I'll start pairing them off. I'll be like, okay, between these 2, okay, get rid of that one. Okay, between these 2, okay, get rid of that one. Between these 2, and the choices become really easy. And then I get to the final 2, and I'm like, oh, it's obvious, it's that one. Whereas I'm looking at 6 or 5 or 4 or 3, and I'm like, but this one gives me this, and that one, and I'm playing them off and doing sort of,
That's
pros
really
and cons.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's the trick of the flipping the coin.
Yeah.
I don't know, should I do this or that? And you like flip a coin.
Yeah, and you accept fate's decision.
Well, the question is, do you want to flip again? It's whether you're satisfied with the coin flip or not. And it works every time. When people are stuck between a choice and you force them to flip a coin, you say the coin decides. And if they're happy with what the coin decides, they go with it. And if they're unhappy, then obviously go with the other one.
Yes. Because I think we are so terrified of making the wrong choice. And rightly so, by the way. Mm-hmm. If you're living your life well, you don't want to make the wrong choice.
No.
That's why, when you book something, you go sort by price. Because you're like, okay, I'll make it a price choice. Because the world has told me that price is the most important. But if they added other ones, I mean, like Google Flights does this.
Yeah.
They'll go, oh, here's duration. Then you're like, oh, well, time is more important to me than the price.
Yeah.
And another one will be like, sort by best value. And you're like, okay, I'll go for value. What is the price relative to what it normally costs, etc. But they at least give you something to give you like a clear distinction.
And you only look at the first few because that's whatever your hierarchy is. This idea of constraint is really important. So